Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare. I have another channel on which I speak about astrology, and a Facebook account where I wrote prophetic writings for years, and you find that in the description box below. Any other channels are fake, created by these creatures, who 3D creatures, who copycat me. Now, and they're illegal, by the way. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna pick up in this video the last topic which I discussed, namely training with God, because there was a specific aspect which God wanted me to point out, and I didn't have a memory card to make video afterwards. So I'm coming back now with the topic. Namely, as we are talking about training with God. Now, when you do training with God, or when you read or listen to my accounts about this, you have to understand that the most important thing is to learn to observe. To learn to observe, because many of the spiritual fighting encounters that you carry out, first of all, are tests for you. And if you observe attentive, I think this is how you say in English, there are patterns, and energy never lies. You just need to observe correctly. That's all. And I have a video about silent meditation and how you, and of course there are many videos which I made, and all of them are connected. I already saved them in a playlist about self-healing meditations. Also, in order to be able to do a good silent meditation, then you have to master also the light body withdrawal. Okay, so the two are connected. The light body withdrawal is essential for you to do a perfect silent meditation where you silence your mind, and the good observer, to become a good observer of energy. This is critical, okay? And in order to advance in spiritual fighting, to master this process of observing energy is critical in order to understand what is going on and to make decisions how to respond, or so on, or a strategy how to advance, and so on. You guys, I used a candle in this video because in all my videos I used crystals, and these scripts are doing spells and incantations on them, on my crystals. Then it takes me very long to clean them up. So at this point I decided, okay, I'm not gonna use my crystals because my crystals are important to me in healing myself. So then I will just use a candle. This is an explanation. I hope it doesn't trigger anyone. The candle is very good for cleaning your energy. It's very important for cleaning your pineal gland, and your third eye, and so on. And if the fire element is very important in spiritual fighting as well. Unfortunately, as much of all the other elements in spiritual fighting, these scripts already use the candle in order to do candle magic and all this bullshit which they play at us. But that this is important to know, and I said this in my videos. The fact that they use certain items, it doesn't mean we don't use them anymore in our spiritual fighting. This is why we came here to do the spiritual fighting, because all of these were created by God. All of these elements were created by God, and they were created for good. Now it's them who infuse them with ill intent. It is how you use something, but the item itself, it's not created to be evil or to serve the evil. Okay, so moving on, about observer. So you have to observe. Like, I will give an example because God always says give an example so people will understand. Like I made a video before in which I spoke about using money in spiritual fighting, and how you can actually spend money in order to uplift someone or to defeat an enemy, right? Now, for I'll give you an example. When I started doing this, I did this when God told me about. I learned for the first time about spirit attachments on your money, and that annoyed me so much. I explained in that video that I decided, I'll teach them a lesson now. If you decided to put spirit attachments on my money, I will teach you a lesson now. And I explained in that video that basically I decided to spend money in such a way to harm them, literally. And I am not even ashamed of that. I said clearly to God and to Jesus, I said, no, excuse me. I have always good intent for everyone, but this is not acceptable. And they have done this all my life. So you mean to tell me that all my life I worked so hard and I paid so much interest at banks and mortgages and so on and so forth. And actually everything, they were feeding off my money, and I received breadcrumbing from what I was entitled to because they were stealing the rest of my money. Oh no, this is not, this is not going down like this easily with me. And I said, I have good intent for everyone, but then they must learn a lesson. And if they really wanted to put attachments on my money, then they have to see how it feels to carry those attachments. So now I will go spend my money in their stores in order to make them feel how it feels. I did actually many things like this before in that particular time, because God revealed many type of attachments that they made. Like for example, after I finished the money, God showed me that they made attachments on my fingerprint, you say, right? That's the energetic signature, right? So I went into the stores because I finished my money, and I touched every fucking single item in the store. And I was like, now you should feel the attachments which I have to carry with me every single day of my life. Let's see if you enjoy it. They need some lessons. They need some lessons, and they need to face the kind of darkness they consciously and with intent put on us only to steal from us. This is not acceptable, you know. And as I was doing that with money, going back to Observer, I told you that I asked Jesus, because God was not so much inclined in doing this. He kept saying, they will retaliate, they will attack you more. I was like, I don't fucking care. At this point in time, I just want to smack their face. That's all I need now. I want to smack their face. If you tell me that all my life, for so long, 27 years of my life, I worked many times, more than 12 hours a day, just for them to feed on my money and on my energy, you're kidding me. No, they need to feel how it feels when you're in my place, and to carry on these attachments. So I asked Jesus, I said, you tell me, because I was upset with God. I said, why you allowed this? Why you didn't tell me? Anyhow, so then Jesus spent a lot of time with me. And initially, I tell you this, I didn't go spend immediately the money. First of all, I observed. And Jesus taught me how to do this, right? So this is what he taught me, basically. In other words, how to be observer. Exactly like God was teaching me how to be observer with energy, as I explained in the previous video. And Jesus told me, I asked who did attachments on my money. Show me. Show me now who did attachments on my money. And Jesus said this one and this one and this one and this one. The long list, there was such a long list of people who created attachments on my money. I was like, oh, okay. Now, how can I smack their faces now? How can I harm them? And then I started a process in which I didn't really actually purchase things, but I did this mostly online. Like I would order things online. And Jesus and also God, in the end, God came as well. And he said, if you're doing this, let me help you at least to do it right. And they would say, buy from this store, you know. And when I would just complete the order on online, instantly I would feel in my energy field either that the attacks were becoming stronger or that they were going down. Sometimes they were becoming stronger because um, the individual to whom I was sending the money was angry, but I could see who was attacking me. So that was important. Already, it was knowledge. This was knowledge that I was gaining, and then Jesus would say, "Just purchase from this store," and I would order online, and Jesus would say, "Turn around and look at this one and this one," and I could see two other individuals were making alliance among themselves because the individual from whom I was buying was leveling up too much because of me purchasing from his store and stuff like this. So I play, and then I would cancel all the orders on internet, and I will watch who's falling and who's rising. You know, so I played like this for a few days until I actually understood what was the relationship between them, who was in alliance with whom, who was enemy with whom. I asked Jesus who is with you guys and who's with the Satan, so I'll understand who's the enemy here. And so I created sort of like a map, literally a map of all of these individuals and a very clear vision of who is with whom allied and who is against whom enemy, and so on and so forth, you know. And I did this only by playing on internet, okay, ordering on online, and then after a while canceling. And every time I was observing energy, you must understand, I was doing this while I was in isolation, because in order to feel energy properly, you must be in isolation, so your energetic field will not be interfered with by others. Okay, so I did this and I just observed everything, you know. And at some point, Jesus said, "You're ready." Okay, I didn't purchase online actually anything. I only used online in order to understand, because if some very strong attack will start, then I could cancel immediately and I could immediately feel the release, you know, instantly. So I used it only to learn and to observe the situation. This is very important, and this is important. This is important in any research. In my previous profession, I used to be how do you say this? Analyst in military issues, security-related issues. So to some extent, I was used with this, because in order to make a good analysis of a situation and a good prediction of outcome and a good recommendation of policy making, you must observe all actors involved or all actors impacted by those decisions. So you must be able to foresee what are the consequences, even for countries which you did not intend to affect, but it might affect anyhow. So you must take that in consideration as well. So there are always, in policymaking, there are unintended consequences, and there are targeted strategies. So if you're a good analyst, you must make recommendations which take in consideration both. Okay, so I was used with that to some extent, but this was different because this was observing only energy and so and so. I used to do this actually a little bit when I was in my previous profession as well, in terms of trying to put myself in the place of the individuals. You know, like I would say, if I would be the president of Russia now, what would be my decision on this matter? So I would predict exactly what's gonna come next. Or if I would be the president of United States or China or this or that. So I was used with doing that, but it's a little bit different if you do this in observing a situation and actors only through energy. That requires a special preparation. And again, there is a video which I made, and you find it saved in the same playlist, which explains how you prepare yourself, how you cleanse your energy bodies, because you have more bodies. You have the emotional body, you have the rational body in terms of energy. So you have different dimensions that you must cleanse, and you must be in isolation in order to do this, only by energy, only by observing energy. Yeah. So this is the one aspect which God asked me to actually add to the previous video, namely in pertaining training, that you must be a very good observer. And once you learn to be a good observer, you will start noticing people that are in your auric field, people that are attached to your auric field. Some of them attach themselves on purpose in order to feed on you, on purpose. There are individuals who do this on purpose. It's to me, it was a shock to learn this. But there are also some individuals who do it unconsciously, and usually they are manipulated by the previous ones, the ones who actually are vampires. Then they do this on purpose. And some of them are just, these people who actually cannot step out of a emotion. Any emotion, you should be able to control it. You should be able to transmute it. You should be able to step out of it. You should have your own process, because in my videos, I keep giving examples, and I keep telling God, you tell me to give them examples, but this is very much personal thing. You decide for yourself how you do this. Maybe you do it differently. I don't know. Anyhow, the point is that you find your own way to step out of an emotion. There are people who cannot step out of emotions, and they will have the same fucking discourse, blaming others and pitying themselves and feeling sorry for themselves for I don't know how long, for months, years, some people years, they have the same thing, they have the same issue, the same. To me, also, this is connected a lot to creation. If you focus on creating something, and this is always one big part of how I get out of things, creating something, focusing on something that you want to create. You cannot be focusing on what others do to you or do in your life or in your space, because you cannot control that. They might be crazy. What you gonna do now? Of course, if it's possible, you're gonna try to move locations, change jobs and stuff like this, but sometimes you cannot move right now. So then what you're gonna do? You have to step out. You have to create something and focus on your purpose and your path, instead of focusing on them, Anyhow, so being observer, this is important, because this will help you as you learn to observe energy. I gave you only this example with the money attachments, but you must have this ability of observing energy in order to be able to heal yourself. And you can do, for example, exercises. God again says, give examples. You can do exercises like, for example, as you wake up in the morning, check all your chakras, check your thoughts, check your emotions. Sometimes there are emotions or things on subconscious, with even an energy implant, which can be put in your energetic field like instantly, in a matter of minutes, can completely change your energetic field. They usually do this with sadness, with loneliness, with depression, with longing for someone. That is not normal. Longing for someone, it's not a natural feeling. Of course, there are many others, lust and so on. But the point is, check yourself. Check what emotions you have. I already gave this another example in another video. Make a list of individuals who are harming you. So these are people on whom, or I don't know how to say, you don't have to focus on them, but you must do work on yourself to push them out of your energy field. So they shouldn't be your focus, but they should be part of your daily routine of working, of clearing your energy. Okay? Because these are the crazy creeps which refuse to let you go. And they cling to you for different reasons. One, because they hate you. Another one, because they love you. Another one, because they think they love you, but in fact, it's just a demonic attachment, and so on. So, for example, you do this. This is a good exercise to check always on your energy. Because as you check on your energy daily, I had a woman from United States with whom I had a contract for spiritual coaching, and I taught her, for example, because she was not controlling emotions at all, which were thrown at her, were not hers. I taught her, for example, when you speak to me, keep your right palm of your hand on your belly, on your solar plexus, and observe what kind of emotions you feel coming to your solar plexus. Because she was talking to me about situations which were affecting her. And I told her, I can see the energy which is dragging you down as we speak together. You must learn to control it. But she was not even observing when that energy was entering her field. So you can try this. Always, for example, keep your hand on your solar plexus and observe what kind of energy comes. Okay, you must know one thing also in doing everything that is related to spirituality. Stating out loud your intent is important, because as you do, even if you don't know how to do it, okay, as you state out loud this, your spiritual team from Divine Realm will help you achieve it. Okay. So it's very important that you state out loud that I am doing now this. So observing energy, being observer is very important, because you will observe when attacks come. This is very important, of course. Sometimes if you're in the middle of a gang stalking attack, it's difficult to completely reject it or block it out. But observing that the attack comes will help you snap out of it faster. Okay? So it will still have effects on you, but you will snap out of it. Just by being conscious of what is going on. And that automatically helps you to snap out of it faster than if you wouldn't be consciously aware of the attack coming at you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can completely block it out. Like, for example, constantly my neighbors send to me conflict spells and incantations and so on, and energy attack. And I am very aware of this happening. It doesn't mean necessarily that 100% each and every single time I can block it out. Sometimes I can. Sometimes I don't pay attention. I'm not focused enough to cast it out immediately. And the energy will penetrate my energy field, right? But as long as I'm consciously aware that this is happening, and I will be able to observe the change in my behavior. Okay, so if I'm patient now and calm, and all of a sudden while I do something I become angry, but I am aware that it's an energetic attack which is creating this on me, okay, you will snap out of it faster. This is what I'm saying. You will be able to snap out of it faster, and it will not drain you as much, because these things with energy, sooner or later, at some point, you push them out anyway, right? But the point is to push them out as fast as you can, so you can be in control of your full energy as much as you can. Yeah? And you do this by being a very good observer. So you will notice when any type of energy attack comes, even if you don't notice it immediately. But as I said, sometimes I do something and I don't pay attention to energy, and sometimes the energy implants are very fast working on your energy body. So you only become aware after a few minutes of your behavior being changed. So you're like, what the hell is going on with me? Why am I saying this? And it happened to me many times, that I would listen to me speaking and I was like, this is not me. What the fuck is going on? Why am I saying these words? And then instantly, if you start checking your energy chakras, you notice that there's an energy implant, that there's been an energetic attack on you, basically. Okay? And that is very important because you can snap out of it. But it's important that you observe, because if you only listen to yourself and you say, okay, this is not like me, but then you move on and you don't cleanse that, then that energy is going to stay for some time until you actually do something which will push it out. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because it takes long time to upload videos. It's 26 minutes. I think I made my point. You must be very cautious in observing energy at all times. Many times people cloak themselves in somebody else's energy. Okay, also because for the same reason, because if you are aware that somebody is attacking you and you claim justice against that individual, he's gonna be cut off. Okay, so they cloak themselves. This is why you must be a good observer, so you will see who is that person, is himself or is somebody using his energy, and so on and so forth. So being a good observer will help you with that as well. And I'm going to stop here now. I will come back with another video after this one finishes uploading.